The bank lobby buzzed with the usual morning energy. Sunlight spilled through tall glass windows, stretching golden patterns across the marble floor. Customers in crisp suits shuffled forward, tapping impatiently on their phones as they waited for their turn. And then the atmosphere shifted. Slowly, an elderly man stepped inside. His name was Mr. Harlantal, thin, with a weather-worn face and a soft gray beard. His checkered shirt had faded over the years. His jeans were frayed at the knees, and an old straw hat rested on his head. Shielding him from the morning sun, he held a worn leather wallet in his rough, calloused hands. The moment he entered, people stared, some with confusion, others with judgment. It wasn't the first time he'd been inside a bank, but every time he came, the looks made him feel smaller than he really was. Still, he had come for something simple, to check his account balance, nothing more, nothing less. But appearances have a way of deceiving people. From his office, the branch manager, Victor Morrow, stepped out young, polished, and overflowing with pride. His navy blue suit and bright red tie screamed authority. But beneath all that shine was a heart hardened by arrogance. Noticing Mr. Harlan in the line, Victor smirked and nudged a nearby employee. Their quiet whispers turned into muffled laughter. Then Victor spoke loudly enough for the room to hear. "If you even have a balance, old man, I'll double it for you." The word stung the air like a slap. Conversations died. People turned, but Mr. Harlan said nothing. Humiliation was a path he'd walked many times. What, no one knew what? Victor certainly didn't. Was that the man he mocked was not a poor wanderer. He was the silent founder of the very bank Victor worked in, the man who built everything with his bare hands, and chose never to flaunt a penny of it. Finally, the clerk called him forward, still smirking. Mr. Harlan calmly handed over his ID. A few keystrokes later, the smirk faded. The clerk's eyes widened. His mouth hung open. He leaned closer to the screen, as if checking for a mistake, because what stared back at him was a balance most people would never see in their lifetime. Victor, noticing something was off, strode toward the counter with a laugh. Until the clerk nervously printed the receipt, Victor snatched it and froze, his face strained of color. His hands trembled. The number on the paper was enough to buy the entire building twice. The man he mocked owned everything. Mr. Harlan gently folded the receipt and slipped it in his wallet. Then he looked Victor in the eye and said quietly, "A person's real balance isn't measured in money, but in how they treat others." The entire room went silent. Customers exchanged glances. Employees shifted uncomfortably. Victor stood frozen, drowning in the weight of his own arrogance. But before leaving, Mr. Harlan turned back toward the crowd. His voice was warm, steady, sincere. "I grew up with nothing. Every dollar I earned came from sacrifice and long nights of work. I built this bank to help people grow, not to make anyone feel small. So if you meet someone who looks tired or worn down, show them respect. You don't know the storms they've survived." His words hung in the air like a lesson delivered straight to the heart. A young mother wiped a tear from her cheek. An elderly man nodded quietly. And Victor, he stood there like a man seeing his own reflection for the first time. Within days, the story reached corporate headquarters. Victor was summoned. At the head of the boardroom table sat Mr. Harlan, no straw hat this time. Just a simple suit and the same unwavering humility. He spoke only one line. "True leadership isn't about status. It's about compassion." Victor resigned shortly after, unable to live under the shadow of his own shame. From that day on, people who walked into the bank carried a new sense of respect. Employees treated every customer kindly. And the story of the quiet old man became a reminder passed from one generation to the next. Appearances can fool the eye, but character never lies. And real wealth is measured in dignity, not dollars. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Pure Hub Kindness, where we bring you real stories that inspire compassion and remind the world of the power of humanity.